Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca, and in this video we're going to discuss how to find the perfect house for your plants, because honestly that is all we care about as plant people, is having an environment where they can thrive. And I'm a big advocate for you can make the environment work for you. You can definitely add grow lights, or if you really want to cut into your walls, you can add more windows, you can create outdoor spaces like small greenhouses. There's definitely ways to make your environment better for plants, but it all really does start with the house. So after my most recent house hunting experience, I've got a lot to share on how I found this house that we really love, and it'll be a great place for my plants. Fingers crossed. We are here with you today for an announcement, and that announcement, you've already seen the title, but that announcement is that we're moving.
Woo!
Yeah, we're moving. But where are we moving to?
Oklahoma, Twister Alley.
We're moving to Oklahoma City, and it's going to be quite the adventure. We have known that this is going to happen for since we moved to this house. We knew that we were gonna have to move in 4 years. Yeah. But nothing will really prepare you to have to leave this beautiful oasis, and I'm pretty sad about it.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna miss all the green for sure. Well, I mean, there's green there, but
it's a lot more green in Oklahoma than I thought. We were just visiting, and we found a house, which is why I now feel comfortable sharing the information. But it's just been a hard mind transition to go from living in this really oasis, this very padded oasis, to living back in the city. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, definitely. The woods here, thicker, just the brush, everything's just thicker here.
Everything. Thicker. Your owl is showing. It's good that Daniel's here, because if not, I probably would have cried through this announcement, because I am honestly so gutted. And another reason why I really wanted to wait as long as possible to share was because I knew there would be a lot of comments being sad about the greenhouse and everything else. And I really can't dwell on it, because I am incredibly sad about that. But we will be back. This is not goodbye to this house, and you very likely will see the greenhouse again if we are still friends at that point. So anyway, that's the announcement. So stay tuned for moving content, moving all of my houseplants, and moving my dogs and my husband and my child, and settling into the new house.
Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we all survive. Well, the plants, I mean. Hopefully all the plants survive on the move down.
Yes. It's going to be probably pretty warm when we move still, but it's only a 1-day drive, which is nice. 6.5 hours. It's really not that far compared to when we moved from Arizona. So it's going to be pretty easy, and I don't know, it's bittersweet. It's exciting to have this new chapter, to turn a new leaf and try something new. Yeah. But of course it is sad to leave all of this behind. But like I said, it's not going away. We are still going to own this property. So yeah, that's the announcement.
All right. Well,
Stick around, because this video is actually about finding a house for your plants, because that is really what we care about, isn't it?
I thought you were going to go Finding Nemo.
No. Which, by the way, have you guys seen the beginning of Finding Nemo lately? Don't watch it. Please.
Is it bad?
It's bad. It is bad. It's worse than Up.
Really?
Yes.
I guess I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's violent.
Well,
you gotta do the Midwest whelp. Whelp!
So you want me to get out of here?
Don't make this harder than it already is.
Why? Are you saying it's my time to skedaddle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Time to hit the old dusty trail, Danny. Now there's a few pre-work things that you're going to have to do, and you're going to be doing this already because you are house hunting, like you're on Zillow, you're refining your searches and you're doing all of that. Something that I did to really narrow down finding houses that we would really like was limiting the lot size to, I think I did like minimum 8,000 square feet for the lot. And we were looking for homes that were around like 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. So that kind of helps you have a gauge for how much of that would actually be yard, because what we noticed was a lot of the newer build homes did not have big yards at all. If that's what you want and you don't want to have a lot of yard to maintain, I guess I can understand that, but it was crazy to me how often the homes had just the tiniest yards. If a big yard means a lot to you, then those bigger lots are going to have bigger yards, obviously. I do believe that 10,000 acres is the quarter acre size lot, and a quarter acre size lot is not super uncommon. I thought that it would be harder to find, but there was actually quite a few that I was able to find. And those houses always had a really big yard that you could do a lot with as far as gardening and, I don't know, just having space. That was really important to me because I was thinking in this whole process, like if I don't have a space indoors where I can have a lot of my houseplants, I want to put up a greenhouse. Something else that you can search in your Zillow refining is sunroom or Florida room or Arizona room. You just kind of find out what that specific area calls their sunrooms and type that into the search, and you might be surprised with how many you find. Coming from Arizona, we had something called Arizona rooms, and they weren't incredibly common in newer build homes, but a lot of older homes did have them. Coming to Missouri, I did notice that a lot of the homes had sunrooms, and it was actually really common in Oklahoma. I was shocked to find this, but once I found out how common it was, I was able to refine my searches, and we looked at like 4 or 5 homes that had really nice big sunrooms, which was incredible to kind of feel like I had a few to pick from and I wasn't just picking the one house that had it. So definitely don't discount looking up to see if there are homes that have a sunroom. The houses that came up when I searched that weren't always coming up on my general searches, so it always helps to refine things a little bit more. The next tip that I have is to, when you're actually in the homes, use the compass app on your phone to check the direction of the windows. This was literally the first thing I did every single time I walked into a house. I had it on the ready to go because it's just extremely helpful to know what general direction the house faces, what direction the windows face, and you can, I do believe, see what direction everything faces. If you look at the house on Google Maps, there might be a compass so that you can look at it even further in advance. Like if you see that there's only like windows on one side of the house and then they're all north windows, that's probably not going to be a great house for a plant person unless you're willing to make some serious changes to your routine via grow lights and cutting into your house and adding more windows maybe. But yeah, so as you can see here, it just kind of moves around based on what direction you're facing. And yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised that a lot of the homes that we were touring had really nice windows in good directions. But something else to note with windows is if there is something covering those windows. So for example, at my house currently, I have a huge south picture window in my kitchen, but it's really not great for plants because I have a really big oak tree right outside the window that shades it completely in the summertime. In the wintertime, it's a great window for plants, but definitely not in summer. Another factor that could obstruct those windows are covered patios or covered porches. Even if a window has like an awning or something like that, that is going to kind of take away a little bit of the light that you would naturally get. And if you are looking at your windows, you get your compass out and you're wanting to know which windows would be the best, really anything besides a north window is going to give you really good light in most parts of the country. Unless you are living in like Arizona, for example, a really sunny place like that, north windows are probably going to be perfectly fine. I know several people who have a lot of their collection in Arizona in a north window and they're really happy. Something else that kind of affects the amount of light that comes through the windows is whether or not the windows are frosted. I don't think that it makes huge impacts. In our house, actually, we have an east window in the like by the bathtub that is frosted, and I wouldn't want it to not be frosted because it's next to the bathtub, but I am mindful that the east light might be a little bit diminished because of that, but I don't think that it'll be a super big deal. Number 2 is to check how deep those windowsills are. That's not something that I checked in this house, and I'm glad that I didn't because it might have been a deterrent. I don't think this should be the thing to deter you from living somewhere because there are things you can do to your windowsills to make them bigger, but it is just more work on the back end of things. So when you're looking around the homes, it is just helpful to look at the size of the windowsills. We toured a house that had like 10-inch windowsills and I was like frothing at the mouth. They were so beautiful, perfect for plants, and the windows were also really tall. I guess the size of the windows really matters too, because if you just have like small windows, even though it's a south window, that's great, but there's not going to be as much light that can come in, whereas if you had a window that was like almost floor to ceiling. Just another factor to consider with your windows. But honestly, beggars can't be choosers, and especially if you're living in like a suburban area where there's a lot of houses next to each other, you might not want huge windows anyway, because then it's more cost for window treatments, and then also like privacy is a thing to consider. My house here doesn't have any window treatments, like as far as blinds go, because there's nobody around us who would look into the house. But in our new house, we will have to be more mindful about like drawing curtains and closing blinds and stuff like that, just because we will be next to other homes. I shared on my vlog channel in my kitchen reno video how I extended the windowsill in my kitchen. If you are purchasing a house, this is a really, really easy fix. I honestly put it off for a very long time because I thought it was gonna be so much harder, but it wasn't. It was so easy. It took like 5 minutes, just a little bit of elbow grease, and I had really nice like 5-inch windowsills. And I was tempted to do it with all of the windowsills in the house, but I just didn't have time, and I feel like there's no point now. But it is just so incredibly nice to have those thick windowsills. And if you are renting or you don't want to make a permanent change like that, there are products you can buy online, like through Etsy. I'll link a few down below to extend your windowsill. A lot of people buy them for their cats so they can sit up next to the window, but they're really great for plants as well. And you can, of course, DIY those if you don't want to buy it. Okay, so that's about it for the structural things that are a lot harder to change about a home to make them better for your houseplants. So you kind of want to find those things initially: big windows, you know, not obstructed, etc. But I also have a list here that are just nice to have features that once I went through all of those things in the house, I then switched my brain to this list, which is the nice to have features. So you don't have to have it. You could add these things on or swap these things out to make it a little bit better for you in your plant journey, but they're not like absolute necessities of the structure of the home. So number one is a utility sink. I saw this in a couple of laundry rooms. It's really nice to have a sink that doesn't need to stay nice to water your plants in. A lot of the time I'm a little bit stressed out that I'm gonna like scratch my sink, or like, I don't know, have a piece of pumice go down the sink and ruin my garbage disposal, which I do get questions sometimes if that's ever happened to me. And the answer was always no, but more recently the answer is yes. And my husband had to fix it. So a utility sink is really nice to water your plants. And a lot of the time utility sinks will have kind of like a hose sink part of it, or you can add that onto it so that you can even attach that, literally attach a hose to your utility sink and like bring it around if you feel so comfortable doing that and watering your plants that way. Number two, on the realm of a hose, is a removable shower head. Shower heads are really easy to swap out if you don't already have one in the home when you get there. Especially if you're a renter, it's so easy, and I don't think that landlords would care at all if you switch out the shower head, especially if you are going to switch it back to their shower head when you leave. You'd probably want to do that anyway because you don't want to leave your nice shower head. But yeah, a nice long detachable shower head is a really great feature to have, because then you can water plants pretty easily in the bathtub. And not only for watering, but for like pest management. If you ever get a thrips outbreak or something like that, spider mites or whatever, and it's winter time and you can't treat them outside, and or you don't have an outdoor space to do something like that, like if you're living in an apartment, that might be a lot harder to take all of your plants outside if you have just this small balcony, and there's like rules against water dripping off the edge or something like that. Another thing in the realm of faucets is with your kitchen sink. If you have an upgraded kitchen sink, it will have sort of like a removable faucet head where you can bring it around and water around the sink, so you don't have to water plants directly under the flow of water. You can sort of move the flow of water around. Again, something that's very easy to swap out if you don't already have it, but definitely a nice to have to begin with. And speaking of sinks, having one deep sink well is really, really nice. In this house, we had a 2-compartment sink, and that was nice in that I could have my dishes on one side and water my plants on the other. But I did find that when we switched to having the big sink, it was so much nicer. I could water so many more plants in it than I was able to do in my like 2-compartment sink. And I just found it really enjoyable. Like, I just love that sink. I'm really sad to leave that sink behind. But yeah, if a house has that, it's definitely an extra plus for bathing dogs, babies, and your plants. And the last thing I'll say that is a nice to have for your future house, for your houseplants and yourself, I guess, are windows in the bathrooms and the kitchens. So I love having my plants in places that I go often, and it is such a bummer when a bathroom does not have a window. Like, it is, in my opinion, the biggest bummer, okay? So I have one bathroom in my house that doesn't have a window, and you can't do anything in there. Like, I love putting plants in a bathroom. It just feels natural. I love having a plant like cascading down in a shower. It's just the best. So if you can find a house that has bathroom windows, then you can put like more humidity levers in there, and also in the kitchen. Like, I always say, if there's water available in that room, it's probably going to be like slightly more humid than other parts of your home. And also, you're always going into the bathroom and you're always going into the kitchen. There's plenty of places in those 2 rooms for plants to be that maybe need a little bit more care from you, because you go there all the time. So you're going to see if they need something. But yeah, having a kitchen window, I think universally people really, really enjoy that, just because it's nice, like when you're washing dishes, to be able to look out the window, or like have your plants on the sink, on the windowsill above the sink or something like that. And oh my gosh, corner windows in the kitchen are incredible. My friend Nicole has one, and also Amanda Ray Wright on Instagram has one. Basically, it's like one of the corners of the kitchen, and then they placed a big corner window and then sink. And like, you have that whole front of the corner to put plants, and then you have the windowsill. It's just incredibly beautiful, and that would be so nice to have that. I would just love to have that eventually. I think if we ever like design a home and build a home, that would be something that I would want for sure. If not that, recreate our current setting with a huge picture window, because I also really love having that in front of the window, in front of the sink. I feel like there's gonna be things that I come up with after the fact, but if you have anything you wanna add that you look for specifically in a home when you are, you know, planning out where you're gonna move and you're being mindful about your plants, please leave them down in the comments down below. I really hope that this video can be a helpful resource for anybody who wants to be a little extra and think about your plants in your next move. Thank you so much for watching this video. And on a personal note, thank you so much for being so supportive of this big announcement and this big move. As I said earlier, I'm really, really sad about it, and I'm trying not to cry on the internet about it, because we are so lucky to, obviously my husband has a great job, and it comes with travel. This is something that we knew. It is just really hard to leave a place that feels so special and so much like home. But what I'm telling myself is that I was really nervous to move here. I was happy and excited to move to this land and this property, but I was not expecting to love the town of Columbia as much as I have. So I'm really hoping that Oklahoma City will grow on me as Columbia has. And there's lots of plant places to explore, lots of new plant friends to be made. So it's gonna be a good time no matter what, because plants are universally bringing wonderful people together. So I know that there will be a community there already of really great plant people. So if you are in Oklahoma City or anywhere near it, also comment down below so that we can connect and just chat, and maybe you can make me feel more excited about moving there. When we visited, it was really cool. Like, there was a lot to do and it was very pretty. I was really expecting it to feel a little bit more deserty, because we are moving more close to the southwest, but it was still very lush and green, which was a huge relief to me. So yeah, besides the sadness of leaving this home and everything we've built, I am excited for a new chapter, and I hope that you're excited to come along on the journey. Thank you so much for watching this video. And again, if you have anything to add, please leave them in the comments down below. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Moving content is coming. I have a very large collection that we are going to have to move. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. So stay tuned for all of that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Such a cute couple. What's that face? What's that face supposed to mean?
Should we redo this?
Wait, what? The whole thing?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know if I like it.
What do you want me to do different?
Everything.
Everyone loves me, though.
Okay.
Do they not?
You have an inflated head.
Every time I'm in the video, they make comments about me.
Okay.
All right, what do you want me to do different?
Nothing. I'll record it without you. It's okay.
You shouldn't get me out, Perry. What do you want me to do different?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, I'll try another take. We'll see. I'll do a different take. How about that?
Okay.